Kol Haloyim Yahweh, Bahasham, Hamashiach Yahushai, Bahasham, Rachakodash, Barakatham. Shalom. This is your fellow servant Tazawar, here with another lesson. First, I want to start off by giving all glory, honor, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakakodash. Double honors to the elder apostles and bishops of Great Millstone, whom rule well and from whom we learn this truth. Shalom to Akim around the world who are pushing likewise doctrine in spirit and in truth with all sincerity. To you few sisters that are listening and learning, as well as you speckled birds who are scattered among the nations, looking like those nations. To the 144,000 elect men, to the innumerable multitude, the rest of the hopeful elect. To you I say, Shalom. This first, I'm in transit, so Salakia for the background noise. You know, I do my best to try to keep it to a minimum. But this lesson, this video is about, it's a reminder, right? About the power that we serve, man. All right, in all his glory, all his greatness. Okay, and one that he's first and foremost, he's to be feared and worthy to be feared, as well as worthy to be praised. All right. Hey, but feared is the main key. Why is that? Because through the fear of the Lord comes obedience. You know, it's just like a lot of parents and stuff these days. If you got kids, if you got children or whatever may be the case, you got seeds, or if you are acting as a parent, right? You know that when you talk to that child, if there's no fear of consequences, right, they gonna just go do whatever they want to do. They'll listen, but they'll go do whatever they want to do. And a lot of people treat the Lord like that, like the Lord is their friend and not their superior, right? Not their superior in rank and status and everything, honestly. Okay. I had to go to a parent function and shit last night, and I'm in there sitting around, and the principal talking, and these parents don't know how to, everybody just in this loud as hell in there. I'm like, damn, these the households these other children are coming from. I want to say something else, but these little degenerates coming from. As they no wonder the world is in the state, or the school systems at least is in the state that it's in. The world is in the state that it's in because the Lord wants it that way. He wants it chaotic, right? I don't want to deviate from the point, from the topic, but I'm like, damn, this is it's crazy, because it's just common courtesy. Like when somebody talking, you shut the fuck up, right? And let him speak. Anyway, that was an interesting observation I had. And a lot of people in the world move like that. And we see it when we out on the highways and byways, and the conversations that we have day by day with people. You know, they like, oh, you know, the Lord know my heart, or the Lord this, the Lord, the God is love. You know, we hear that all the time, especially from the Christian church. But again, the Lord is to be feared and honored and praised. All right. And you know, another thing that was a reminder of that is like on, I know the brothers like the Akim have been talking about that show on Prime, and have been watching that show on Amazon Prime called House of David. You know, and I sat down with my sons and made them watch the first season, right? And one of the takeaways from that first season was, yo, David was praising the Lord, man. He was giving glory and honor to the Lord every step of the way. And it really stuck out during that scene right before he fought Goliath. You know, I don't want to give the series away. Y'all should go watch that. Right? But he was bold, as the scriptures say, bold as a lion. Right? Anyway, let me get some scriptures, because y'all know how I get about the rambling joint, and I'm in transit to the plantation, so I don't gotta be expedient. This is Exodus chapter 18 and verse 9. Hold on. Verse 8, right? And Moses told his father-in-law that the Lord Yahweh had... And Moses told his father-in-law all that the Lord Yahweh had done to unto Pharaoh and to the Egyptians for Israel's sake, and all the travail that had come upon them by the way, and how the Lord Yahweh delivered them. All right. And Jethro rejoiced for all the goodness which the Lord Yahweh had done to Israel, whom he had delivered out of the hand of the Egyptians. This is the point right here, verse 10. And Jethro said, blessed be the Lord Yahweh, who hath delivered you out of the hand of the Egyptians, and out of the hand of Pharaoh, who had delivered the people from under the hand of the Egyptians. 11. Now I know that the Lord Yahweh is greater than all gods, for in the thing wherein they dealt proudly, he was above them. Right? And that's a point that we read in the scriptures on numerous occasions where the heathen, right, are boasting in their gods, proud, like the Egyptians against Moses, right? You read about Elijah, right? And Elisha, who was his disciple, they were bold against the heathen, man, and the heathen's powers, their deities or whatever you want to call them, their idols against the idols of the heathens. and Yahweh prevailed, right? And again with David, in the story of David and Goliath, man, right? And listen, this series showed that there was a time in the series where, like, Goliath was standing out there taunting the nation of Israel for like days. Like, y'all ain't got nobody that's gonna come, you know what I'm saying, come give me my one. Like, ain't nobody finna come out here and fight me. Where your champion at? David got there like, damn, you got a whole army full of people, ain't nobody, and this you got this heathen over here blaspheming the name of the Lord, speaking proud against the Lord, and ain't none of y'all got the gall to like, you know, to sack up, the ante up. You know, like, hey, how is this possible? We serve the living power, the one true power, the one true God, right? Creator of all things. And that's the mindset, that's the mindset we ought to be in Babylon the Great, man. You know, because, to put it quite frankly, quite candidly, you know, fuck these other idols and whatever they worshiping, some rock, some wood, some stone, whatever, right? And fuck this place too, this rulership, man, this kingdom. This is not this place is not meant for our success. It's not meant for our people, our nation to thrive here, man. This is our prison. And we want out, goddammit. So like it, we want out. You know? And we are banking on, like the old heads say, they'll say something, right? They'll be talking their little shit, they be popping shit, and they'll say, you can take that to the bank. Right? Hey, well, we banking on the Lord fulfilling his promise and getting us up out of here, just like he did right here, what I just read in Exodus, man. How he delivered Moses and all of Israel out of the hand of Pharaoh and the Egyptians, man. There's a pyramid on the back of the dollar for a reason, huh? The scriptures say that Babylon the Great, right, is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. Why? Because we went through hardcore bondage here, man. And that's what you so-called Negroes, that's how you're known here in this place. All right? You so-called African Americans, man. That's how you're known of in this place, as slaves. That's how you're known across the world, as slaves. All right? And it's the same, and it's not just the Negroes, it's the same for all the tribes. If you want to keep it a buck, it's the same for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. It's the saying. Hey, it's the saying that the brothers say, be pushing, right? They say it happened to the Northern Kingdom first and the Southern Kingdom worse. So yes, because I'm from one of the tribes of the Northern Kingdom, man. I'm a Reubenite. Right? But when you go back and you think about Gad was put in internment camps, re-education centers, reservations. That's bondage, man. All right? And they did the same thing to you Latin tribes. Don't think, hey, the Spaniards did the same shit. The conquistadoras, right? They did the same thing, lo mismo. Lo mismo cosa. Anyway, and yo, the Lord gonna deliver us up out of this place in more glory and majesty, in greater glory and majesty than he delivered us out of the hands of Pharaoh and the Egyptians, man. The scriptures speak on that. Alright? But we gotta remember that the Lord is greatly to be feared and worthy to be praised. Alright, let's get that. I have went to these. This is the book of Psalms. This is the book of Psalms. Hold on. This is the book of Psalms 96. And I'm gonna start at 2. It says, sing unto the Lord Yahweh, bless his name. Show forth his salvation from day to day. Declare his glory among the heathen, his wonders among all people. For the Lord Yahweh is great and greatly to be praised. He is to be feared above all gods, right? He is to be feared above all powers, right? Hey, whether or not people subscribe to the power, the God of the Bible, the God of the scriptures, the Holy Scriptures, right? They know of his reputation, man. Why? Because everybody know about the story of Moses, right? Most of the people done heard about Gideon. Jericho. Everybody know about King David and how he was a warrior, man, a conqueror. So when you flip back through the pages of history, man, hey, it's some blood in there. And the Lord got men who was putting in work for his name's sake. So the reputation is well known by the heathen. They just don't want you to know, all right, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, they don't want you to know that they know of the power of our Lord. All right? Because they've heard, just like in the older days, man. With that one little I can't think of the female's name, the woman's name right now. I'm drawing a blank, trying to get through this traffic, but it was a heathen woman, right, who made a deal, and she tied the scarlet ribbon in her window to save her family because she knew that that we was coming, that the Israelites was coming to her to a city near you, to a town, to her town, and she had said, our fathers have heard, right, have heard of the terror of the Lord, of the God of Israel, and the people was frightened, man. They was scared. They was scared. Right? And the Lord gonna get busy on this side too, man. And this dispensation, as the Christians like to say. I'm gonna read number 4 again. This is Psalms 96 and 4. It say, And it reads to say, for the Lord Yahweh is great and greatly to be praised. He is to be feared above all gods, right? For all the gods of the nations are idols, but the Lord Yahweh made the heavens. You see that? Honor and majesty are before him. Strength and beauty are in his sanctuary, man. And that's true. All right. Hey, and the scriptures say, because it said strength and beauty are in his sanctuary. But on this side, for us, right, in this captivity that we're in, and the scriptures say that the name of the Lord is a strong tower, man. Right? So this is why we call on the true names of the heavenly power. Right? And we push those names in the earth. Unadulterated, man. With no oh well, it could be, you know, different pronunciations. Nah. The name of the Lord, the Heavenly Father, is Yahweh, and the name of his Son, his only begotten Son, is Yahweh Shai Hamashiach, man. Point blank, period. This Psalms 145, and I'm gonna start at 1. This was proving the point that I was speaking on earlier about David. It say, Psalms 145 and 1, I will extol thee, my God, my power, O King. See that? And I will bless thy name forever and ever. Every day will I bless thee, and I will praise thy name forever and ever. You say what? Every day, man. Every day you draw breath, you ought to wake up and be like, hey, call Elohim Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai, man. Every day that you draw breath, whether you feeling chipper or not, whether you feeling good, great, whatever, or not, I'm gonna make the, hey, really, and when you ain't feeling, you know, 100%, for whatever reason, those are the times you ought to be having the names of the Lord and his Son on your lips more. You ought to be hey, and this admonishment and exaltation is to me first and foremost, man. Verse 2, every day will I bless thee, and I will praise thy name forever and ever. Great is the Lord Yahweh, and greatly to be praised, and his greatness is unsearchable. Yeah, because you can't fathom how the Lord made everything, man. His greatness is shown throughout creation. And that's just a small piece, man. And for you wicked motherfuckers that be thinking like, oh, well, we got science to explain stuff. You, listen, y'all don't understand the finer point. You don't understand what atoms are made of. Electrons, protons, neutrons. Yeah, Esau know how to put them in a particle collider and speed them up and collide them and destroy stuff, because that's all Esau know how to do is destroy. Because if they really had understanding of the elements, they would be able to create things. And they don't create anything. And that's the science that people push in the earth, man. It's Esau's science. People talking about some goddamn string theory, Big Bang. What if space is a vacuum and it's a void? Where are the bounds of space? Where's the ledge? Where's the edge? The perimeter? How can space that has nothing in it be contained? How? Think about that. They don't know. Don't nobody know. All you gotta do is look around creation, man. How does a bee fly with that big ass body and them little ass wings? How does an ant have 10 times its strength and body weight with no bones? Right? You can argue hydraulics because the exoskeleton is filled with fluid and yada yada whatever. Speculation. Where the hell a platypus come from? How the Lord be showing out, man. And these are small things. People have a hard time understanding the concept of time. How can time speed up? How can time slow down? Time is just time. How can God be outside the bounds of time? Right? That's a big thing. People can't fathom. People don't understand that the Lord created time as a created construct. That's a difficult thing for people to get past. What does forever mean? Really? A number that you literally can't put. You can't, okay, so old that you literally can't put a number on it. Ancient of Days, man. This is the prayer of Azariah, chapter 1. Verse 1. And they walked in the midst of the fire, like we do today, amongst these devils in the valley of the shadow of death here in Babylon the Great. And they walked in the midst of the fire, praising God and blessed the Lord Yahweh. Then Azariah stood up and prayed on this manner, and opening his mouth in the midst of the fire said, Blessed art thou, O Lord Yahweh, power of our fathers. Thy name is worthy to be praised and glorified forevermore. Right? For thou art righteous in all things that thou hast done to us. Yea, true are all thy works. Thy ways are right, and all thy judgments truth. So just ponder that, regardless of your situation, man. And you can keep reading on, but Azariah is speaking on whatever the Lord put us through as a nation, man. He's just and perfect and merciful. Regardless of what we go through, man. So anyway, I pray this lesson finds you well. I pray that it be edifying. Till next time, Shalom. Wa Abad Babal.